What's good, you guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 simple and inexpensive ways we have gone about helping to treat our daughter's cradle cap. We have a 2-month-old little girl, and a couple weeks after she was born, she started to develop a pretty bad case of cradle cap on her face. We were able to take care of it at home, thankfully, but then it spread to her head. So I'm going to be addressing both of those areas in which babies can get cradle cap. It can be on the face, the head, the ears, the neck, the chest, all that sort of stuff. I'll be talking about the face and on the head today. Quick disclaimer before we get into it, I am not a doctor. I do not have an MD, nor am I a medical professional. So I am not in any way, shape, or form counseling you to do these things with your baby or child. I'm simply sharing the ways we have found to be effective for treating cradle cap in our daughter. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, I started noticing that our daughter was getting really bad cradle cap on her face. So we were kind of doing a thing where we would put Aquaphor on it. Sometimes, not all the time, because this was kind of foreign territory for us. Our other child, our 4.5-year-old daughter, never had any sort of cradle cap or anything going on with her face. So this was really uncharted territory for us. So we took her to her pediatrician, and she reassured us that this is nothing uncommon. It's very common for babies to have this, but she did say that our daughter, as far as a case-by-case thing, did have a pretty bad case of it. So a lot of times what your pediatrician will do is they will give you a prescription for a low dose of hydrocortisone cream that you will pick up at your pharmacy to put on your baby's face if the cradle cap is severe enough. Now, quick little note about hydrocortisone. You can jump on the internet and find this out for yourself, but it's a very potent medication that you don't want to just be carelessly putting all over your child, because it seeps into their bloodstream and it's very potent, like I said. So if possible, it's always best to try to avoid using it if you can, if your doctor is not outright telling you you need to be using this. Of course, that's a different situation, but our pediatrician really kind of gave us the option. She just wanted us to have it if we found that we weren't able to get rid of it effectively at home using Aquaphor. So another question we had was, is this a thing that needs to be allowed to dry out, or is this something we need to be keeping moist? And so when she told us this is something that needs to be kept moist and that's what's going to get rid of it, we quickly started putting Aquaphor on it multiple times a day, every hour or so. And just from the time of leaving the pediatrician's office and starting to up the amount of times we were using Aquaphor to the next morning, by the next morning, it had pretty significantly, almost totally cleared up, which was really amazing. Still occasionally now she'll get it sometimes like in her eyebrows. And so we do go ahead and preemptively put Aquaphor on those little areas like around her nose and stuff, but it has 99% of it has gone away. So we're really thankful for that. So if your baby falls in that category, again, as always, talk to your pediatrician, but Aquaphor is really awesome. And just from doing that, just applying it every hour, really keeping the face, the ears, all that moist, it really worked to take it away again. That's just what worked for us. After we dealt with that on her face, we noticed that it had moved to her head. And so this is kind of, again, uncharted territory for us. We never dealt with this, but through talking to my mom friends, researching on the good old interwebs, and finding out about some products that you can use to help get rid of it, this is kind of what we found, again, that worked for us. A quick little thing about cradle cap, if you don't know what it is, a lot of times when people see it on babies, it can feel kind of like, oh, I hope people don't think that we have bad hygiene or that it's related to that. It has nothing to do with hygiene. My husband and I and our kids were very clean people. Has nothing to do with hygiene. It's really just the luck of the draw. Some babies get it and some babies just don't, and they don't really know exactly why. But what cradle cap is, it's just an overproduction of oil on your baby's head or their face or around their hair follicles, and it basically creates this crusty, oily buildup, most commonly on their head, but again, it can go to the surrounding areas. And again, these are the steps we have found to help get rid of that. Every cradle cap, situation is very case by case. Some babies, it goes away in a matter of weeks, months. Other babies can have it you know, I know some mom friends that their babies are now almost a year and still have a little bit underneath their hair. So it really is case by case. For us, it's really looking like our daughter's is starting to clear up, but you just never know. So again, doing these steps that we've done, it's in no way saying it's going to cure it. A lot of the times it's like a weekly thing or a monthly or however often you choose to do it, routine that you do that just helps to remove that buildup of like skin cells and like the crustiness. It just kind of helps to remove it, like I said. So these are the 3 steps we have found that really were effective for us. Step number 1 is you want to put some sort of oil on your baby's head. This is going to help to loosen all of the patchy scales, because if you're just holding your baby in your arms and their head is just dry, you can notice like the scales are pretty stubborn and like pretty hard, and you don't want to just be picking at it dry, because you don't know, like you run the risk of maybe like it starts to bleed or something like that. And it's honestly just difficult to try to do it when it's dry. So go ahead and put some sort of oil on your baby's head. For us, we use essential oils. And so the carrier oil that we just have around our house is fractionated coconut oil. It's basically like, imagine the coconut oil in the tub and it's just already liquefied and it stays liquefied. So again, fractionated coconut oil is just what we use, but honestly, any sort of oil can work depending on your baby, case by case. Maybe there's an allergy, but olive oil is another really good one to use. Jojoba, almond oil. There's lots of different oils that you can use. And so a really good time to do this is right before bath time. So the couple times that we have done this on our daughter has been maybe 15-20 minutes before I'm going to give her a bath. So I put the oil on her head and it just gives it time to like soften the scales and that sort of thing. And then the next thing you're going to want to have is one of those tools. This first one is this little safety first little comb and brush situation. Let me show you kind of a close-up. So as you can see, the scales are really densely packed together on the little comb. And then this is just this part. They look hard, but they're really not. They're just silicone. They're very soft. And then it has a little thing that you can just put your hand through, which is really nice. We got ours on Amazon Prime. I believe it was $4.99. And so we went ahead and got this. This is really great. It's really convenient. The thing about most combs is that they're not this densely packed, and that's kind of what you want, because the stuff when you're scraping it off will build up right here and you can kind of just take it off. A normal size comb, I don't know that the bristles will be close enough together to really like scrape the stuff off. But this is a tool. Another kind of dupe for this sort of tool that also works, that I've actually ended up using more than the bristles here. I've been using the comb, but are these 2-pack that you get at the Dollar Tree, these little silicone like face and or body scrubbers. They look like this. Again, they come in a 2-pack at the Dollar Tree in like the showering section. And you can hold on to it with this little back part, and let me show you what it looks like up close. So it's just really, really soft little silicone things. And so what you want to do is have, one of these tools ready. If you're using these, you're going to need some sort of a comb. I honestly end up using one of these and then just the comb on this. Not so much the bristles, but these bristles are totally fine and they'll work also. Is you get your baby in the tub or wherever you're going to do it. And what you do is you just kind of start gently scrubbing around their head, around the perimeter. And once you are done doing that, it'll kind of have loosened everything. And then you go in with this comb or whatever comb you have, and you just gently kind of start scraping it, and it'll literally just come out of their hair. And the reason why I like to do this in the tub is because I like to, when I'm done doing that, wash her hair so that the oil will get out of her hair, all that sort of stuff. Depending on how much time you spend doing the gentle scrubbing and combing, and then maybe doing that again. Sometimes I've done it and I've gotten most of it off, but some of it's kind of there if I wasn't doing it super thoroughly, and other times I've gotten all of it. Just to reiterate, this isn't a thing where it's going to completely cure it and it will not come back. A lot of the times it's something where you have to do weekly or that sort of a thing. Another thing to note too, and this again just is from the research that I've found and talking to my pediatrician, on the head, it's not anything that's like painful. It's not like they're just natural first layer of skin that you're scraping away. Again, you're just getting like the buildup. So it's like, you know, like layers of something. You're taking off some of the layers. You're not taking off their actual layer of skin. Just want to throw that out there. So yeah, that is what we have found to be super effective for us. It doesn't have to be a fancy thing that you know, need to spend a ton of money on. You can go grab these at the Dollar Tree, get a little comb, order this. They also have this at Target. They also have it at Target, but I'm all about that Amazon Prime life. That is what I love. So yeah, that is what we have found that really works for us. Comment below if any of your kids have struggled with cradle cap, if there's something you found effective in treating it yourself at home. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.